Oh girl, mama is like pasty white. We're gonna change that. I'm gonna I just wanna walk you through what I do, because this is what I do to get that glow when I'm not feeling the glow. So I'm gonna be using a cream bronzer today and like a cream highlighter as well, AKA with the makeup I use, we call it an illuminator. But before I do that, I'm gonna add a little fake tanner to my face so that when this makeup comes off, I still look a little tan. All right, so the very first thing that I'm gonna do is I have this tanner right here, this Golden Standard face mist, and I've done this a few times on like a Facebook Live, but I take my detail brush and I put it on just the edge of that, just a couple sprays, and then I come in here and add it to the areas that I normally contour, and you can see it going on. So I kind of just bring it up in here. So then when this dries, I'm gonna have like this solid contour line, but you do need to get it like right where you want it to be to do it. Do a little bit more. And I have sensitive skin, so it doesn't bother. I usually can't use tanner on my face. And then I'm gonna show you what I do to kind of even it, balance it all out. So I take, where'd she go? This big boy right here, and I just kind of blend it. This is the brush that came with it, and yes, it loses hairs, but I'm just gonna blend out that top part because I wanna make sure I don't have like this rock solid line across my forehead. Oh, don't forget to get it up really good in your hairline. Okay, do it along here with what's ever left on it. So then I wait for that to dry, and then we're golden. This is gonna just warm up my skin so that when I don't have makeup on, I still look nice and contoured. Now I'm gonna show you how I get that really awesome glow as soon as this completely dries. So I'll be back in just 1 second. Okay, nice and dried. And this point that I want with this glow, seriously, I'm using a cream bronzer. So this is everything that I'm gonna be using. So I have a cream bronzer, a cream highlighter, AKA illuminator, and then I have a nice glossy lip color that is oh so my favorite. And then I just have what acts as a concealer, but this is what we call a highlight, which is a little piece of a foundation. So I only put these in key places and I'm going to go. And then I have my eyes with these nice warm colors real quick. So the best thing that you can ever do is if you wanna just wake up your skin and wash it, exfoliate it, just make that skin come alive. My very favorite primer, because I'm not a huge primer lover. I don't like primers though. This is the Pure 4-in-1, and it really adds to creating this like alive look to my skin. So this is one of those ways we're gonna get that glow makeup look, that makeup, no makeup type look. So it just makes my skin kind of look more alive and wake up. And I love it with all my heart. So I'm putting it on where I just feel like my skin's kind of drab. Nobody wants that. And I don't want to get it too high because I don't want to take off that tanner that I used on my forehead. Okay, there we go for that. And then the next thing I wanna do is I'm gonna let that dry completely. I'm gonna put my eye primer on, and this eye primer is a skin tone eye primer from NYX. I will link everything below. And if you've never seen any of my other eye tutorials, I have a hooded eye video that I just released just a little bit ago. And I have some awesome hair ones too. I even have a couple workout ones. But I have some of my favorite products. Anyways, this is NYX. I really like it. I also like MAC Paint Pot in the ochre color because it takes out those purple, red, pink tones in the eyes. So I just get it on there. I make sure I don't get it too thick, and I try and keep my eyes closed as much as possible as it's drying because I have wrinkly eyelids. Nobody wants that. Okay. Also, when you have wrinkly eyelids and you put your primer on and you then open your eyes and you put it on too thick, it makes it look like your eyeshadow didn't blend in, but it did. Okay, so I'm taking my palette here that has just the warm colors, and I'm gonna go in with this lighter warm color right here. Okay, so I will link below the colors that I used, and I do it in all my videos, but this is just a light. You can see it coming on. It's just pretty easy going. And I just get it on just light, and I get up onto the brow bone because that's the golden ticket, my friend, that's going to make it add that warmth in, go a little bit higher onto that brow bone, and just really make those eyes pop and glow. 100% without a doubt. Because the look that we want today to have just this natural warmth, ooey gooey goodness is not too much with the makeup, not too much with the eyeshadow. So I don't even know if I'm gonna use all these colors that I did, but I wanna make sure that it just is gonna look heavenly and amazing and incredible. Okay, so throw that on. That's just this color called Stay Golden. Then the next one I'm gonna do is this baby right here, and I'm still gonna stay going in with this end of the brush as we speak, right in here. And my kiddos are home on a break. If you hear them, that is why. But mama still has to work. So I'm just coming in lightly, right there in that crease. Oops, using this color. It's called Basic. It's just a warm brown. It's just a really good warm brown, and it actually looks a lot like some of your powder bronzers. And so that's it's just a good warm color. Okay, now we're getting to the nitty gritty, the good stuff right here. So I'm going to be putting on my cream bronzer first before I even put on like the concealer, AKA it's just a foundation color. But I'm gonna put on the bronzer, and I'm gonna be touching it with the Glow highlight right there at the same time, because it's gonna make my skin just shine like nobody's business. If it's gloomy outside, it doesn't matter because I have it taken care of with this. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna dab into both, okay? And then I'm gonna pop, and I'm gonna pop over here because I wanna make sure that I don't get it too heavy-handed. So I'm gonna just pop on both sides to see how much color I do have on my brush. Because again, I don't wanna go too crazy. And then we're adding in that so good warm brown. Ooh, I'm already feeling like I got a tan. Get up in that hairline really, really well. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back and address these. So the difference between the bronzer and a contour is your bronzer is gonna sit more on top of your cheekbone, and your contour is gonna set more right directly under the cheekbone to add that dimension, and the color isn't as warm as it is when you add bronzer. The bronzer, we want to just add in that warmth. This is so good, I love it. And then a lot of times I really wanna add a little bit of that glow along my chin, along my jawline, and then into my neck ever so lightly, because necks, this is what I love about this cream bronzer, is it's just a really workable. So it seems kind of intimidating and scary, but you can just really, really work it in there. So I just keep working it across the board. And I bring it down, and then I look nice and tan, and it's so good. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, I don't like how I can see that there's a little bit of separation there, so I'm just gonna take it with my finger and pop it on there, and then I'm gonna take a small end of that brush that I used and get in that hairline. Really good. Okay, Brows are super important with creating that glow look, and we want to make sure that we get them all natural looking. Wait, this one is the older. That's garbage. I need a better one. Okay, like so. So I'm just gonna wake up these brows. I'm using my Glossier Brow Boy, or Boy Brow, sorry. Boy Brow, raising up the brows, kind of waking them up. That's the style right now. So that just wakes them up and makes them look natural and so good. Because again, we want this look to just come together, glowing, shining, rocking it, looking warmer, but not like we did a ton of makeup. So then I will fill in the bare spots, because heaven knows we have some all. Okay, so this look is gonna be so good for you, no matter what your age is. You're set, because we're just adding warmth. So even if you are somebody that you feel that you're in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, if you're a beginner with makeup, no matter what, you are good to go across the board with this makeup and with this look. If you can't get this makeup, because the stuff I'm using right now is only in the US and Canada, if you can't get it, just use something like it. See, already coming together good. Okay, the next thing I wanna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of that glow on my lips. So just a little bit of my bronzer, and I'm gonna shadow right in here. Just a little bit of warmth, not too much. So I had a little too much, so I put it on my hand. So I added in that warmth. And then on the top, I'm just gonna add warmth to the top of my lip. And add a little to the top. So I'm doing all of this before I even add to my foundation. And then I'll make sure I have it all down pat. Let me just use that Yummy gloss that has a little bit of color to it, not too much. I love it. Okay, and then now lastly, I'm gonna go in with that foundation. So, or that, like a concealer. So I'm gonna come in here, because that's like a trouble area, right? And I'm gonna come in here. And then I'm just gonna pop in the areas that I wanna just even out my skin. Lightly, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I get red under my nose like a lot of people do. And I'm gonna go down the center, in between my brows, because that gets a lot of red. These are like the hot points that lots of people see redness for. And I'm just making sure that the bronzer and the foundation, like the concealer, blend in really well together. And then this eye, ever so lightly. And then on the old zit. I'm not trying to cover it really well, because again, this is just a really light application. But I at least want it to be toned down a bit. And on my chin, in the center, and then blend out the rest. All right, then I'm gonna add just a little bit of mascara. But it's minute. We do not want very much of this. Because again, we're going for that really natural look. And if you're like me and you get annoyed by the like edges of your skin not being finished out, I'm gonna just take a little bit of that basic, that eyeshadow color that I used earlier, and I'm just gonna make sure I get it in these corners right in here and right along here. I do have a Lashify lashes on, but so that's why I don't have to put mascara on the top. And I actually don't have to put a lot of liner on because it helps fill in that so it looks like I have it. Best thing ever. That stuff is boss. I love it. I'm not very good at it though yet. I will admit. There is a little bit of a learning curve with those. Okay, and then we're set. We have this gorgeous glowing skin. Like you can see the help, like just that glow to it on the skin. We've got this beautiful glowing skin, and I just paired these two amazing colors, the Bella bronzer, a cream bronzer, and a cream illuminator, which aka cream highlighter. I duoed those suckers when I put it on so you could see that glow that it gives within it. And then I have this natural glowing skin that is so pretty. I love this and I feel so much better about myself. But when I go and take this off, I'll have a little bit of that contour line, a little bit of that look that if I had contour on, and the glow, right? That's the most important part, for sure. So I feel like we did this right? We're getting that summer glow, that we're getting that look going on. And I have lighter skin, and now I feel like I got a little bit of a tan without having to do a tan. We wrapped it all up. I hope you like this tutorial. I hope that you're gonna go try this. You have to let me know if you try it. Like, get yourself all feeling good. If you haven't had time to put on that fake tan, this might suffice for the day. So I'm Jocelyn McClellan. You can find me on Instagram on Instagram at jocelyn.mcclellan. You can find me on Facebook at Finish Your Makeup with Jocelyn McClellan. And then here, where I'm releasing a video every week for you. Make sure you subscribe to these videos to see more of what I do so that you always know when new stuff releases. Hit that bell. Make sure you go follow me over on Instagram too. That's where I spend most of my time. You can get me there. Take care. If you want any of the stuff, check it out, written out below.